Hi, my name is Hope. I'm going to talk about marathons today. More specifically, I'm going to talk about the Pittsburgh Marathon in history, preparing for the marathon, and Pittsburgh Marathon race day weekend. First off, we'll talk about what a marathon is. It is a 26.2-mile foot race, usually ran on the road. It dates back to 490 BC when a Greek soldier named Phidippides ran the distance to spread word of a Greek victory. He ran from Marathon, Greece to Athens, Greece to spread the word. It later became an Olympic event and is now famous all over the world. Only about 1% of the population does run marathons. So the Pittsburgh Marathon is usually the first weekend of May. It started back in May about 1985. It's now sponsored by Dick's Sporting Goods, so it's usually called the Dick's Sporting Goods Pittsburgh Marathon. Also, other sponsors are like UPMC. But anyhow, there's many events that happen during the marathon. It's not just the 26.2 miles. They do have the official marathon itself. They also have another option to do a relay, which is still the 26.2 miles, but it can be broken up by 4 to 6 people at different parts of the race, so you still cover the full distance. They also offer a half marathon, which is the 13.1 miles, and it's usually a more popular distance for people. There's also a 5K, which is a 3.1 mile race. And if you participate in the full and half marathon, the half or the full marathon and the 5K, there is an option, what they call the Steel Challenge. And what that is you run that distance over those 2 days, and you get an extra medal to be the Steel Champion, I think is what they call it. They also offer a kids race and a pet walk and a wheelchair division. Now, the Pittsburgh Marathon also has Olympic trials, I know at least for the wheelchair division, and it's also a Boston qualifier, which means your time for the Pittsburgh Marathon can be used for a Boston qualifying time if needed. And Boston is one of the bigger marathons that's very popular. So the Pittsburgh Marathon itself has over 30,000 participants, 4,000 volunteers, and 60,000 spectators. So that's almost 100,000 people coming out for this weekend. Preparing for this race takes place months before. First off, deciding that you're going to run the race is the first step, I guess. Registration normally starts in September of the year before. And then training, I usually start in about January. So once you start training, you need to figure out your plan for training. There's many different options for that. You can do an online training plan. There's many free online training plans you can do. There's also professional training plans. There's a lot you can buy online or talk to personal trainers or programs you can do to find out what works best for you. I kind of customize my own. I find out what works for other people, and then take all those free online trainings and then try to fit it into my schedule. So far, it's been working for me anyway. The hardest part about running January through May in the winter in Pennsylvania is staying motivated. And running 26 miles is a lot of time to think. So, a couple ways to stay motivated. I follow people's blogs. It's good to just hear other people doing what you're doing and going through the same things you are to help figure out what keeps everybody motivated. The Pittsburgh Marathon also has a Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter page, so staying with them on social media, knowing what's going on with them. They also have challenges you can participate in to help keep you motivated. And running with friends also helps. Another thing to prepare for the race is hotel reservations. Hotels in the city run out months before the race even starts. I try to book my hotel the same day as I register just to be on the safe side. You don't have to stay in the city if you don't want to, but if you're going to commute, you have to make sure you keep on top of transportation issues such as barricades, roadblocks, construction. Make sure if you're taking the train, make sure your train's running, things like that. And make sure you're giving yourself enough time. I know people have taken trains, and when they've got there, there's so many people waiting for the train that they weren't able to get on at their stop, so they'd have to wait until the next train came, and that would also cause a delay. Also, you'll become an addict checking the weather. Like I said, Pennsylvania is very unpredictable, especially in the month of May. You don't know if it's going to snow or rain or be 80 degrees and sunny. So with that being in mind, making sure you have your race day outfit and preparing for that in time. So, of course, you're going to have one for all sorts of weather and being able to modify it. They say that you should have your race day outfit picked out before, and something you've actually trained in, so you know it's not going to rub or chafe or cause you any problems. So be a little aware of that, and if you're going to buy something at the expo, make sure it's something that you have similar at home. So next is race day weekend. So the months leading up to it, now we're at race day weekend. First off, the big thing is going to the race expo. It's usually held at the David Lawrence Convention Center, which is a big area, nice, right in the center of town there. It will hold a ton of vendors, so it's very nice. It's where you'll get your race day pickup bag. So what you first do is you go in, and you'll have to show them like your driver's license and your email that you got saying what your race number was. When they verify that, they give your race number, and then you get a nice shirt from the Pittsburgh Marathon. I have mine here. This is from this year's, but this is a nice shirt here. And then you'll go over and they give you like a swag bag, and it has more information in it and about some coupons and free stuff in there. And then you can walk around to all the vendors. Vendors include like Toyota, Brooks, Dick's, Fleet Feet. There's wine and beer tastings, last minute race needs like Cliff Blocks, water bottles, nutrients, protein bars. There's lots of people there taking your picture. There's a big etched wall with your name in it. You can find if you're running the marathon. There's also like reasons why I run. They had a little wall like that, and then you can write on there what you like and why you run. There's also plenty of kids activities there. There's a rock climbing wall. They have an animal rescue with animals there that you can see. Sometimes they have the race greyhounds there, and a lot of them are up for adoption if you want to help out retired race dogs. And the race expo is open Friday and Saturday. So Saturday starts off with the 5K in the morning. Like I said, it's the 3.1 mile race and part of the Steel Challenge. So my oldest daughter participated in that this year, which was her first time, and it was great for her. And then after that, they'll start the kids race. And it's divided by different schools, so they have different race start times. But the purpose of the kids race is to promote healthy living for kids. And what it does is months before the race, kids have like a little booklet they fill out about like vegetables, healthy eating, and their activities. And for like each hour of activity equals 1 mile. They do about 25 different things that they log in their book. And then the last mile is covered in the kids race at Pittsburgh. So they'll run that last mile, and then they'll complete their marathon. They offer them all kinds of goodies as well. They'll get a shirt and a medal, and a banana at the end of the race, and water bottles. They get to wear a bib just like mommy and daddy. And they also get their race day swag. Here's one of their bags that they got here. So tons of fun. They also have a pet walk. So when the kids race is done, there'll be a pet walk. It's pretty much people walk their dogs around Point State Park, and they kind of judge them. They have a couple different costume classes that they can participate in, like pet and owner lookalike contest and things like that. It's pretty neat. And that's also right after the kids race. So they also have a bunch of kid festivities going on at Point State Parks, and just bouncy houses and snow cones and vendors all over the place there as well. Makes a nice family day for everyone. And then Sunday, things get a little bit more serious. This is the day of the marathon. So before the sun even comes up, people are out warming up. Volunteers and workers are working super fast to put up for the race. City streets are closing all over. Pretty amazing how fast they get everything done. I think the race starts at 8 o'clock. You need to be in your corral by 7:50. So early in the morning, people need to start heading to their corrals. I think there's about 5 different corrals that they have there. And what a corral is pretty much just an area blocked off for runners of different speeds. So the first would be the most elite, and then every couple of minutes there's a new corral. That's just so people don't get ran over or hurt, is what that's trying to promote. The national anthem's being sung. Helicopters and news crews are all over the place trying to record this. And it's just an overwhelming experience with all these people everywhere. So then the race starts. They let the crowds go at different times there. So then you start running. People are yelling. People are ringing cowbells. There's bands playing on street corners. People holding up signs of encouragement all over. I know at 1 mile the greyhounds are out there and they're dressed in different outfits, and it's just amazing. They have race photographers everywhere capturing the moment, which you can buy the pictures later. But I mean, they crawl up on the bridges, on the sides, in the middle of the street. So those are always interesting to see. The marathon also has fluid and medical stations every once in a while. So every couple miles, to help prevent dehydration. And then once you complete the 26.2 miles at Point State Park, you claim this Runner of Steel. So, and then once again at the park, there's the vendors, festivities, and plenty more photo opportunities as you reunite with your family. Also, the full and the half marathon all start at the same time. They divide at mile 11, and they also finish at Point State Park. So a marathon is more than just a race. It's an adventure, and in my case, an adventure for the whole family. It encourages activity and healthy living, and it is an opportunity to learn about oneself. Thank you.